And welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I want to give you guys an update regarding the housing markets in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, as well as Seattle, Washington. This is because these are some of the markets that are experiencing the biggest pullbacks in home buying demand. In other words, we're seeing a big decrease in the number of pending home sales. In fact, have a look at this. Here's Redfin's report that they just announced this a couple days ago. They state here that pending home sales fell the most on a year-over-year basis in the US. In Los Angeles, down by 59%. Las Vegas down by 56%. Miami down by 50%. Seattle also down by 50%. Jacksonville, Florida, and also Portland, Oregon decreasing by about 48 and 46% respectively. So I thought it'd be fun to share what's happening right now in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, as well as Seattle, given the fact we're seeing a huge pullback in the number of contracts being signed. And by the way, I'm going to include timestamps. So if you guys are only interested in Las Vegas or Los Angeles, for example, you guys can fast forward ahead. But let's first talk about Las Vegas and what we're seeing there right now. Because as you guys saw, a huge decrease in the number of contracts being signed. And by the way, I'm going to be sharing new listings, pending home sales, listings, which of course is housing inventory, price reductions, and home prices, and a couple more metrics as well. I also have some really interesting trends regarding home prices because I'm going to be sharing how these cities here have been seeing a decrease in home prices since more or less May and June of this year. And I'm going to be sharing how this decrease compared to pre-COVID levels back in 2019. Some very interesting trends we're seeing. So again, let's talk about the Las Vegas housing market. Let's talk about new listings first, actually. New listings, look at this. New listings are down by 28.8% compared to the same time period in 2021 and have been decreasing really ever since June of this year, down by 28.8% from 2021. Let's have a look at pending home sales though. Look at that, down by 57.82%, absolutely insane. Has been falling really ever since the spring months, really more or less May of this year, but took a big decrease once we hit more or less September of this year. And that, of course, is when rates have really started to skyrocket. So down greatly, down by 57.82% in the number of contracts being signed between home buyers and home sellers, far below 2019 as well. So a drastic changes there in Las Vegas housing market. Let's look at active listings though. This is the number of houses for sale. Active listings are up 54% on a year-over-year basis. So they have just under 12,000 houses for sale right now, compared to 2021, a little bit over 7,000 houses for sale. So a huge increase, but has been plateauing out over the past several weeks now. So I'm guessing because we're seeing a huge pullback in contracts being signed and a huge increase of active listings, I'm guessing that price reductions are actually through the roof. This is on altosresearch.com. They have a great YouTube channel if you guys want to check them out. Anyways, here's Las Vegas. According to them, they only have a slight seller's advantage in their housing market right now, which is of course drastically different compared to a year ago. Look at that. March 11th, the share price drops to 16%, and now it's 60%. Absolutely crazy. 1 year ago, the share price drops was 33%. Back in 2020, 34%, and pre-COVID back in 2019, only 47%. So right now, approximately 6 of every 10 houses listed for sale in Las Vegas have price reductions. Let's also have a look at the median days on the market for Las Vegas. So right now, the median days on the market is 51 days. That's an increase by 28 days from 2021, because at this time in 2021, days on the market was approximately 24 days. So in 1 year, we went from 24 days now all the way up to 51 days. I actually don't really think that's the stat we should be sharing, or not sharing, but looking at though, because look at this. To start the year, we were at 28 days was the days on the market, and the lowest was in the spring months this year when days on the market was only 14 days. How crazy is that? So in April, more or less, days on the market was 14 days. Now it's 51 days. Some drastic changes that we're seeing right now in the Las Vegas market over the past several months now. So let's have a look at the average sale to list price ratio. Whoa, I have not seen this yet. That's wild. So the sale to list price ratio right now is more or less 97%, meaning houses on average are selling for 3% below the seller's asking price. Again, this is the lagging indicator though. It's based on houses that actually have closed escrow or sales that actually have finalized. So pretty remarkable. I'm guessing this number is going to be decreasing greatly in the months ahead, given the fact that rates have been over 7% virtually every day in October. So 97% right now. Look at this though, because back right here, which is more or less April, the number right there was 102%, or the ratio was 102%. So on average, houses selling for 2% over their asking price back in April, but now it's 3% below the asking price. And let's talk about home prices in Las Vegas. The median sold price right now, look at this. The median sold price in Las Vegas is up by 8% on a year-over-year basis. Let's look at 2021. Now, 2021, this time, home prices were up by 19% from 2020. Absolutely crazy. So 8% gain on a year-over-year basis. The median sold price is $417,000 is the median sold price. But back really more or less in June, the median sold price was $461,000. And by my dumb math, that's a decrease of $44,000 since June of this year, or a decrease by 9.5%. Now, I know what you're probably saying, because home prices tend to decrease or plateau in the second half of the year. So I think a lot of people would say, hey, it's normal for home prices to decrease by 9.5% every single year. However, though, the data does not support that claim though, because have a look at this. I did some digging for you guys, because back in 2019, the median sold price on June 16th was approximately $289,000. October 20th of 2019, the median sold price was $296,000. In other words, during the same time period in 2019, home prices actually increased by 2.4%. Now they have decreased by 9.5%. Let me briefly repeat this, because compared to June of this year, home prices have declined by 9.5% in Las Vegas. During that same time period in 2019, home prices actually increased by 2.4%. And of course, the reason why I'm sharing 2019 trends versus what we're seeing right now is that obviously in 2019, that was pre-COVID. In any case, this is kind of a new analysis I want to share in today's video, because we're seeing decreases in home prices compared to the highs we saw in June of this year. But I want to share how that changes, or how that compares to 2019's levels. Let's talk about the Los Angeles housing market here. So look at this. New listings in the Los Angeles metro, according to Redfin, are down a whopping 52.6%. So a huge decrease in the number of new listings hitting the market, down by almost 53%. Let's look at pending home sales in Las Vegas though. Pendings are down by a whopping 51.5%, down even big time compared to 2019, and of course down greatly compared to 2021. So pending home sales have been declining more or less ever since the spring months of this year. So let's look at active listings though in Los Angeles. Active listings right here. Active listings are up, or down, so I should say, down by 28% compared to the same time period in 2021. So active listings are at 11,000 right now. Compare this to 2021, we had approximately 15,000 houses for sale. Now again, only 11,000. Let's talk about price drops though, because I'm guessing price drops are going to be through the roof. So here's Los Angeles, a slight seller's advantage according to Altos. And the share of price reductions in Los Angeles are at 39%, far below the 60% that we saw in Las Vegas. But look at this though, at 39% right now. Compare this to 2021, it was 25%. Back in 2020, it was 32%. And pre-COVID back in 2019, it also was about 36%. So the share of price drops is a 3-year high, but very close to pre-COVID levels. All right, going back to Redfin here, let's talk about home prices in Los Angeles. The median sold price, look at this. Median sold price only up by 2% from 1 year ago. Let's look at 2021, because back in 2021, this time, they were up by 11% on a year-over-year basis, but only up by 2% right now, which is pretty remarkable. So look at this. The median sold price is at $831,000, but back in June, more or less, the median sold price was $913,000. In other words, home prices, or the median sold price in Los Angeles, has decreased by 9%. Also compared to the same time period in 2019 though, home prices actually increased by 0.5%. So that's pretty crazy, right? Home prices have declined by 9% during this time frame right here, which is the year-to-date high compared to right now, down by 9%. But during that same time period in 2019, obviously pre-COVID, prices actually increased by 0.5%. As you can see right here, let's see, look at 2019, 635,000 was the median sold price back in 2019. And fast forward but going back 3 years, back to 2019 at this time, the median sold price was only $638,000. In other words, home prices increased by 0.5% during this time frame, whereas this year it decreased by 9%. Let's also look at days on the market as well. So the median days on the market right now is sitting at 44 days. That's 11 days slower compared to 2021, because back in 2021 this time, it took approximately 33 days to sell a house. Also, as you guys can see right here, days on the market has been increasing greatly this year as well, because going back to the spring months this year, days on the market was around 25 to around 26 days. And now again, it has increased to 44 days right now. So let's look at the average sale to list price ratio right now in Los Angeles. Wow, look at that big decrease. So the ratio right now is more or less 99%, meaning home sellers selling their houses for approximately 1% below their asking price. Compare this to 2021, the ratio was about 103%. So that's pretty crazy. Also look at the highs we saw right here, which is more or less April. Houses were selling for about 6% over their asking price. Look at that. But ever since then, the ratio has been declining, which is pretty wild to see this because more or less in 6 months, houses were selling for about 6% over their asking price. Now they're selling for about 1% below. So some drastic changes we're seeing in Los Angeles. Let's have a look at Seattle, Washington to see what's going on there. Let's have a look at new listings first in Seattle, Washington. New listings are down by 28% compared to the same time period in 2021, which is a similar trend based on the national averages and also a lot of metros as well, because a lot of people don't want to give up their 3% rate and buy a new house at 7%. So down by 28% on a year-over-year basis. Let's look at pending home sales. So pending home sales are down by 53% on a year-over-year basis, and down greatly compared to 2019 as well. So we're seeing a huge decrease in the number of contracts being signed between buyers and sellers right now. So I'm guessing because pending home sales have been decreasing greatly, I'm guessing that price reductions in Seattle, Washington are also increasing as well. And look at this, the share of price drops right now is at 51%. So half of the houses listed for sale right now have had price reductions already, whereas half had not. But at 51%, this is much higher compared to last year at 28% and also 2020 at 41%. But back in pre-COVID though, back in 2019, the share was about 49%. So the ratio right now at 51% is on par with pre-COVID levels back in 2019. Let's talk about home prices in Seattle, Washington though, because I'm guessing there's some drastic changes there as well. So the median sold price in Seattle, Washington right now is up by 6% compared to 2021. Prices right now at $761,000 is the median sold price. The year-to-date high was right here, which is more or less May of this year at $851,000, when prices increased by 15% on a year-over-year basis. And by my dumb math, that's a $98,000 decrease in the median sold price compared to what we have right now, or an 11% decrease in the median sold price ever since May of this year. Again, down by 11% ever since May of this year. But let's have a look at how this compares to 2019 during this same time frame. And by my math right here, during 2019, the median sold price decreased by 6%. So in 2019, pre-COVID, decreasing by 6%, but now declining by 11%. And also it's interesting to see that the home prices actually decreased so much back in 2019 this time, down by 6%, because back in Los Angeles, prices actually increased by 0.5%, whereas they decreased by 9% this year. Also in Las Vegas, declining by 9.5%, whereas in 2019 during this time, prices actually increased by 2.4%. Let's talk about days in the market though in Seattle, Washington though. to see what's going on there. Days on the market is right here. So days on the market right now is 19 days. Look at this though. Houses on average selling about 13 days slower compared to the same time period in 2021, because days on the market back in 2021 was only 6.5 days. Now it's almost 20 days, 19 days. This is also a drastic change over the past several months as well, because at 19 days right now, going back right here, which is the 4 weeks ended July 17th, days on the market was only 6.5 days. And of course, let's have a look at the average sale to list price ratio in Seattle, Washington. So right now, the ratio is actually below 2019's levels. 2019 levels is very, very close to what we're seeing right now. So on average, houses selling approximately 1% less than the asking price right now. Compare this to 2021. At this time, houses were selling for about 4% over. Also, look at this. This is pretty crazy. Wow, I just noticed this. So again, houses right now selling about 1% below their asking price. But look at this. Back right here, which is more or less March, houses were selling for about 11% more than the seller's asking price. That's absolutely insane. So we went from houses selling for 11% over, now we're down to 1% below their asking price. I mean, that's a drastic change in 6 months, going from houses selling well over the asking price, over 11% compared to what we're seeing right now, houses selling below their asking price. So some drastic changes we're seeing in Seattle, but also of course, Las Vegas and Los Angeles as well. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of today's video. And of course, if you do, or you did, please hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.